My husband was cheating on me for months. It was not until I found shocking evidence on his phone that I discovered the truth. But it's not what you think. This is the story of how I found out. It was nearly midnight. I was getting ready for bed when the phone in my bedroom rang. Startled, I looked at the clock. Nearly 12:30 a.m. It was a weird time for a call. Even weirder, the number was unknown. Hesitantly, I answered. "Hello? Is this Mrs. James?" A woman asked, her voice low and serious. "Yes, it is. Can I help you?" I replied cautiously. "Listen, I know this might sound crazy, but I need your help," she said urgently. "Who are you? How did you get my number?" I questioned, feeling a mix of fear and anger. "Please, just listen. I'm calling because I care about you. You need to know the truth about James," she said, her voice trembling. "What are you talking about? What truth? Who is this?" I felt a chill run down my spine. Something about her tone suggested that James had done something wrong. "You can't trust him," she whispered, her voice breaking. "He's a liar, a cheat. He's not who you think he is." She paused. "Look, I don't have much time. If you want to save yourself, check his phone, specifically the messages from last month. You need to see it for yourself." After saying that, she hung up. I was left in shock. Who was that woman? Why was she calling me at midnight? And what did she mean by checking my husband's phone? Confusion and suspicion filled my mind. James and I had been married for over 10 years. Our life together seemed picture perfect. We had 2 beautiful children, a loving family, and our own house. James was a successful architect, and I was a full-time homemaker. On the outside, we had it all. We had our own little fights here and there, but nothing major. I could count on one hand the number of times we'd argued in the past decade. So when that phone call came in last night, it caught me off guard. For weeks before that call, James had started coming home later and later, sometimes not even returning my calls. When he did come home late, he seemed distant and preoccupied, his eyes hiding a secret. He often kept his phone under his pillow, which was strange because he usually left it on the desk in the living room. One evening, as I was fixing dinner, I noticed a few missed calls on my husband's phone. They were from an unknown number. Curiosity got the better of me. I asked James about it, but he brushed it off. "Oh, it's nothing. Just some work stuff," he said dismissively. But I couldn't shake off the feeling of unease. Those calls kept me awake at night. Then there were the nights when I could hear muffled voices coming from his side of the bed. I could make out bits of conversations, laughter, sometimes even a woman's voice. But whenever I brought it up, James changed the subject, his face clouding with anger. Then the midnight call came, confirming my worst fears. Was my perfect husband leading a double life? Was there someone else in his life that I didn't know about? The thoughts wouldn't leave me alone. Days turned into a tormenting battle between hope and suspicion. The woman's words echoed in my head. Check his phone, specifically the messages from last month. But how could I check his phone without him knowing? The thought of him finding out about my snooping terrified me. Then one night when James was away on a business trip, I saw my chance. I told the kids their father was working late so they wouldn't question me. Then I crept into our bedroom, my heart pounding in my chest. I knew what I had to do. I grabbed James's phone from the bedside table, my hands shaking. I unlocked it and went straight to the message section, scrolling through each conversation. My heart sank as I saw dozens of messages, all from the same woman. Her name was Sarah, and as I read through their conversations, I felt my world crumbling around me. James had been seeing this woman for months. The messages were filled with love hearts, kisses, longing, and even plans for the future. I felt betrayed, angry, and most of all, heartbroken. Each message was a stab through my heart, pulling me deeper into the abyss of despair. They talked about stolen moments, secret rendezvous, and a love that defied the boundaries of our marriage. It was as if every word was designed to tear down the very foundation of my life. As I scrolled through those messages, I felt like a fool. How could I have been so blind? All those late nights, the hidden phone, the secret smiles, they were all pieces of a puzzle that I refused to see. I was living in a world of denial, clinging to a marriage that was nothing but a sham. The weight of the truth pressed down on me, suffocating me with its intensity. It was as if the messages themselves were closing in, trapping me in a cage of deceit. Each word twisted like a knife, tearing open the wounds of betrayal. As I read on, a deep sense of sadness washed over me. The vibrant colors of my life seemed to fade away, leaving me in a monochrome world of pain. With each passing moment, the reality of my situation became clearer. My once idyllic marriage was a mirage, a cruel trick of fate that had left me parched in the desert of deception. I stood there frozen, the phone slipping from my numb fingers as tears streamed down my face. The messages lay scattered on the bed like the shards of a broken mirror reflecting the fragments of my shattered soul. When James returned 2 days later, I confronted him. The evidence was irrefutable. His face drained of color as he read the messages. At first he tried to deny it, to twist the truth, but eventually he broke down. He confessed that he'd been seeing Sarah for months, that his feelings for her had grown stronger than his love for me. The words cut through me like shards of glass, leaving me bleeding on the floor of our shattered reality. As he spoke, the weight of his betrayal crushed me. Every word he uttered chipped away at the foundations of my trust, leaving me standing in the ruins of my broken marriage. But then he dropped a bombshell. He told me that the woman who called me that night wasn't Sarah, but someone else, Sarah's sister. Apparently, she couldn't stand it anymore, seeing her sister being treated like this, so she decided to tell me the truth. After that, everything changed. The person I thought I knew, the man I loved, vanished into thin air, replaced by a stranger who confessed to months of deceit. That night, as I lay in bed, the silence was deafening. The empty space next to me where James usually slept felt like a chasm of despair. The weight of his betrayal pressed down on me, making it hard to breathe. I tossed and turned, my mind racing. Thoughts of our life together, of the promises we made, of the dreams we shared, flashed before my eyes, each memory now tainted by the knowledge of his infidelity. The future I had envisioned with James, the life we'd planned together, crumbled before me like a house of cards. I felt lost, uncertain of what to do next. Days turned into weeks, yet the pain remained raw and intense. It was a constant ache in my heart, a wound that refused to heal. Looking back, I saw years of my life spent nurturing a relationship that was nothing but a lie. It's been over a year since I discovered James's betrayal. I'm still in therapy trying to heal, but I can't decide if I should forgive him or walk away. It's hard when you spent so much of your life with someone, and now you're re-questioning it all. If you were in my place, what would you do? Please tell me in the comments. Your words might help me decide my future.